Methane may not be the largest greenhouse gas in our atmosphere, but it has over 80 times the warming power of carbon dioxide over a 20-year period. It also breaks down much quicker than CO2. This has led scientists to conclude that rapidly cutting methane emissions would significantly slow down warming. Dr. Drew Shindell is a professor at Duke University and a member of the Climate and Clean Air Coalition. He says we waited too long to address carbon dioxide, and we need to tackle all gases now, especially methane.
We're getting better and better information about methane emissions, and we're realizing that in many cases we've underestimated how much is coming out. So we see now that it's more important than we might have thought before.
It's not that methane wasn't measured, but it was measured poorly. And the numbers show we were dramatically underestimating human-caused methane emissions. One argument questions reduction solutions, considering methane can break down on its own after a few decades. But Dr. Karen Florini, Climate Central's Vice President of Programs, says decreasing methane now gives us a more powerful response in the near term.
It's becoming very clear that methane actually offers us the best short-term opportunity to reduce the pace of climate change, which is so important because when we reduce the pace of climate change, we give ourselves more time to adapt to the bad storms and the droughts and the floods and all the other problems that climate change brings with it.
About 60% of methane emissions come from human activity, primarily agriculture, the energy sector, and waste management. The most cost-effective way to reduce methane is to capture it and recycle it, such as putting it back into the natural gas system or generating electricity on the spot.
That applies to capturing methane from landfills, to capturing methane from manure ponds in the agricultural sector, and it applies to a lot of the fossil fuel system where you can, say, reduce leaks in oil and gas sector.
Easy solutions also include changing what cows are fed. Composting is also an easy way to reduce waste. To help identify methane being emitted into our atmosphere, new satellites and remote sensing tools are being deployed. Methane gas has no odor and no color, meaning it was previously impossible to detect without such tools. Shindell says there is still misinformation that exists about climate change, human impact, or even the reduction of fossil fuels.
And it's all about redirecting the argument to say that we really have to keep using fossil fuels because everything else is either unreliable or too expensive, which is again a form of misdirection, because that's not the case.
Methane is also a precursor to ground-level ozone. By reducing this type of gas, you improve public health, reduce asthma, and heart attacks. Both Shindell and Florini says this is one of the many reasons the EPA is working hard on new regulations.
We're all living on this planet and all being already affected by climate change. A lot of people may not realize the extent to which they're being affected, but they are. Everyone all over the world is already living with the consequences of climate change.
For WCNC Charlotte, I'm meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.